Hello, children. Welcome to math. Today we're talking about converting metric units. Now, when we talk about metric units, remember those are the ones we call meters, liter, and grams. And those are the three main metric units we use, and we add the prefixes to them to help us know how big or how little the meter, liter, or gram may be. Now, what's nice about metric units and dealing with metric units is all the prefixes are the same no matter if we are in metric, liters, meters, or grams. We're all using the same prefixes. Now, we talked about some of those in class, but the prefixes we use are kilo. This one is called hecto, deca. Remember, U is the unit, which is the meter, liter, or gram with no prefix on it. This is deci, centi, and milli. So we have kilo, hecto, deca, the unit, deci, centi, milli. Starting bigger, starting as the biggest, and getting smaller and smaller as you go. So this is bigger units and smaller units. Okay, so if you want to pause this, write this all down, you're going to want to have this on your paper here. So, I'm now getting rid of all of these. But when we think about converting our units, think about converting, we're going to say, all right, let's say I want to go from 3 centimeters to millimeters. 3 centimeters to millimeters. So the way converting units work is we have this, this list of characters here. And remember, we remember it like King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So we can remember that King Henry died unusually whilst drinking chocolate milk. We can remember the order that our units go in. And the order is important because we use that order to convert our units. So if I'm starting at 3 centimeters, the way I'm going to convert is I'm going to start at centimeters and say, all right, how many times does it take for me to get from centimeters to millimeters? Well, if I'm at 3 centimeters, I'm going to go back 1 unit to get me to millimeters. So I'm starting at centimeters, I go back 1 unit to get me to millimeters. And so I'm going to do the same thing. The number of places I go backwards or forwards, I'm going to do that with my decimal point in the numbers here. So if I'm at 3 centimeters, if I go from centimeters to millimeters and it takes me 1 place to go back, I'm going to move my decimal 1 place back, add a 0, and 3 centimeters equals 30 millimeters. So what's nice about metric units is it's all just about moving your decimal from one location to the next. The number of times we move our decimal is the number of times we go through this chart here. Every time we go through the chart, that's 1 more decimal place we move. So, if I were to say I have 7 liters, and I want to know how many milliliters is 7 liters. Well, remember, liters are the unit. Anything that's just meters, liters, or grams, that's a unit. So I'm going to go, all right, well, how many times am I going to get from unit to milli? Well, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 times. So I'm going to take my 7 and my decimal and move my decimal 1, 2, 3 times and fill all my loops in with zeros. 7 liters is 7,000 milliliters. And it works the other way too. It works if I'm starting at a unit and I want to go the other direction. So I said, all right, I have 500 centigrams, and I want to know how many grams is 500 centigrams? Well, I'm going to start at centi. I always start at wherever I'm starting and going to wherever I'm going. So I'm starting at centi and I'm going to units. 2 place values back. So starting at 500 and my decimal, moving my decimal 2 place values back gets me 5 grams equals 500 centigrams. Okay, everything we're doing here is just all about moving that decimal. Let's say I had 1,300 kilometers. How many meters is that? That is for you to figure out, for you to answer me, moving your decimal. All we do is move in our decimal. I will see all of you in class tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night, and goodbye.